Second to the king. This is somebody with. I'm going now to the king. The man had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wives. Is it correct? How many? 5.
Yes, sir.
Is it chair? Is it chair?
Est-ce que c'est chair?
My sister husband.
Yes, his husband is chair. Daniel.
Je vois Daniel.
Your father is Daniel.
Son père c'est Daniel.
Okay.
Hallelujah. Glory to God. God bless you. I'm Apostle Cedric, and I bring you a prophetic word in Jesus' name.
Prophetic word with Apostle Cedric. Stay tuned.
There is a level of intellect not found in the realm of men. Bible speaking about the prince of Tyros in the book of Ezekiel 28. It says, "Thou art wiser than Daniel." Look at that. So Daniel becomes ranked as one of the wisest men, not in his days, in every aeon. As concerns mortal dimensions, Daniel was ranked among the wisest. They operated in a different dimension. And I believe mightily that apart from the perversion that happened to Solomon, he would have been among the people who would have massively contributed to eschatological prophetic utterances. That word simply means end time prophetic utterances. Daniel began to see different ages. He saw different kingdoms that will emerge. He saw a man who shall rule with an iron fist. He saw different kingdoms. Daniel was able to travel interdimensionally and see what is yet to come. Because when you get intimate with God, you travel beyond what is available in your days. You are able to tap into informations that may not be necessary for your time and your season, but is necessary for a generation to come. That's why you must value the place of writing down things, because there are things that God says is not for now, it is for a future, and it may be a distant future. The day that Jacob slept on a stone, he did not know that that stone had once encountered a patriarch called Father Abraham, and there was a testimonial of Abrahamic encounter in that place. He said it became the gate of heaven. So when you do a crusade somewhere, look beyond the attendance. You are building a gate in that location. Many years to come, a young lady will do a program there, and it shall pull thousands and millions because somebody established a gate. Some people are not meant to stay in houses made by hands of men. They are meant to be builders. There are people in the spirit called carpenters, and there are others who are called builders. Apostle Paul said, "I'm a chief builder." He came to set the templates and to put in the structure on which other generations shall ride upon. Everything we are preaching from Pauline revelation, we are simply riding on the frequency of his dimension acquired by intimacy. Maybe your assignment is just to show a generation the way to go. Abraham never saw the promise come to pass, but his assignment was to lay the blueprints. In Abraham, every family on the earth is blessed. So the blessings of God is not only materially quantified, it is quantified by the blueprint handed to you to define the dimensions that generations now and to come will ride on for eternity. It is true. Bible says every family on earth can only be blessed through Abraham. I'm saying that the Muslims are blessed because of him. I'm saying the Buddhists are blessed because of him. I'm saying Abrahamic secret is responsible for any financial dimension and material dimension and health dimension that any man has found. A man that became the progenitor of 4 religions. What a man. That Jesus came on earth and called a man father. What if your assignment is to look for different locations and plant altars there? You may just be a chief builder for the next musical move in Africa. You may just be a chief builder for the next financial move in Africa. You may just be a chief builder. The success of a man is in the success of his successors, not in his personal success. Listen, there are men whose assignment is to define the constitutions for eternal dimensions of operation, and I see you as one of such people. Become a priest by separation. Listen to me. Your life stops being ordinary when you enter into priesthood. You cannot just shave your hair. Someone tells you when to shave. A constitution you are operating by detects when you shave. I want to do this style, I want to do that style. It's not for priests. Even under Melchizedek, there are constitutions to follow. There are rules to observe. Separation means you must leave the status quo. It means you must step out of trending matters and step into consecration requirements. Do you know the requirements to be a priest of the Most High God? Separation. There is no man who became a priest and lived an ordinary life. No, sir. Any priest that stepped down from his priestly office and became a mortal man was killed like mortal men. They were wasted, because one of the consecration to be a priest is the ability to be separated. So every man that God picked interest in, he began by calling them out of a system, a relationship, a family, or something that was familiar with them. He will call them from the city to the bush, and then teaches them the constitutions of the spirit in the bush, then brings them back to the city to educate the city what they learned in the bush. So for oftentimes he will withdraw Moses to the mountain. Why? Because he wants to impute into Moses the rules of the kingdom. He wants to educate Moses about the way Israel ought to go. He said, you must listen to the Levites, the things I commanded them to teach you. You only get instructions for the city in the bush. You must withdraw yourself to know how a nation must function. You must step out of the way the nation behaves. Abraham, leave your father's house. Why? I am calling you to a higher consecration. It will require you act different. He said, this barber cannot touch your head. Go to that other one. Hey, because somebody may touch you and his lifestyle becomes a provocation to the oil you carry, and the guy enters a curse by shaving a pastor. You are a woman of God. You took a 21 days fast and you went to a salon to plait your hair, and a lady who has not purified herself touches your head and lose her marriage, lose her business, because her behavior was a provocation to your ordination. Did you not know it's a precious thing? Moses, take off your sandals. Where you stand is a holy ground. The rules here: remove your shoe before you enter here. There are people who misbehave around priests. They don't know the ordinance of priesthood. There is not every song a priest can hear. There are musics a priest cannot hear, because every song is a code that begins to align your spirit to a frequency where you can always hear instructions for a nation and a generation. So the moment you hear a song outside your spiritual playlist, you are stumbling into familiar spirits, because you will listen to a sound that altered the rhythm of the spiritual playlist you have in the spirit. So there are people, God says you will hear Paul Weber all your life. Other men, God said Theophilus Sunday all your life. Other men, God said Ayuk Cedric all your life. You must not hear every kind of preacher, because you are caught in an order, and there's a particular preacher who is at a godly frequency that has the ability to stir the baby in your womb. So you may like the way that man preaches, but he does not carry the key to unlock your own potential as a priest. There is separation. That's why not everybody can be your pastor. Not every song can be your song. There are people all their life they have never listened to rap, because God said you cannot hear rap. Rap is not for you. While there are other men, rap activates the prophetic for them. So when a prophet goes and puts rasta and puts dreadlocks, no, don't go and put your own. Maybe he heard the Lord somewhere, because Samson had 7 locks on his head, and that was the consecration for his priesthood. Separation meant your family can shave their hair, don't touch your own. There are certain schools you cannot attend. Separation means even the priest, let me shock you now, the priest did not go to normal schools. They attended the school of the spirit, where their teacher was the high priest. No wonder the Catholic system, when they see a young man who wants to be a priest, they carry him to a seminary place. Why are they taking him far? Because there's a frequency it takes to hear the voice of God, and to fine-tune a man to become a priest, you must be separated. So this kind of priest that's always online, this kind of a priest that's always on every social media platform, commenting on every post, this kind of a priest that wears what is trending, this kind of a priest that spends more time doing hair than trying to understand the consecration of her duty. What kind of priest do you want to be? There is a call There's a call to be separated. There's a call to be separated. There's a call. Banaka Zumikai, when my friend was saying here that he got married and can count how many times he has met his wife, some girls were angry. No, you're not called to marry a priest. In fact, you cannot even be a priest, because it takes a priest to understand a priest. Only a priestess can understand a priest, because they are all living under the same government. So when God tells the man, don't touch your wife, he tells the wife, don't touch your husband, because I told your husband not to touch you. Where God said there are contracts a priest cannot take. Under Melchizedek, we are kings and priests, so we can be business practitioners and also ministers by excellence. But there are contracts you cannot take, because separation requires you function differently. Did you ever know there are songs you cannot listen to? One time they told Elisha to prophesy, and he was not under the prophetic influence. He called a particular minstrel to play a particular song. When that song was played, the prophetic radar became electrocuted, it became activated, it began to prophesy. So there are songs that you must hear, and there are songs you must never hear, no matter how godly they are. The primitivity behind our consecration is what makes us steady as oracles. You become a custodian of power, a donator of solution. You cannot live like them and see for them. In Ezekiel 37, the hand of God carried Ezekiel to a valley. Then he saw the spiritual state of the people he called brothers and sisters. Then he began to prophesy. What I'm saying tonight is that you cannot be like your sister, like your brother, and change their destiny. It's a call for separation. You must be a different kind of Christian, a different kind of businesswoman, a different kind of wife, a different kind of husband, a different kind of musician. The one that understands the rhythm, my God, the one that understands the spiritual requirement for that service, the kind of worship leader who first of all reads the atmosphere in the spirit before know the kind of song they can sing, the kind of praise leader who reads the climate of the spirit and say, okay, this climate requires warfare praise. Mentees who don't know how to function around priests. A man has gone to visit a dimension, you are tapping him to ask for money for fish. A man has traveled to a summoning. He has been summoned by his brothers in different countries, and their Zoom meeting is a kind of Zoom you don't know. It's not installed in mobile devices, it's installed in the spirits of men. He has been summoned to a meeting that they have to discuss about the next revivals in the nations, and he went there only for you to be making noise around that kind of atmosphere. That's why a priest cannot stay everywhere. There are houses you must leave if you must be a priest. This one cannot be your friend, that one cannot be your friend, that thing can't be on your status. Why? There's a call for separation. You don't behave like an old woman, you behave like a priestess. Literal. It means people see you and they say, in this one lies an ancient spirit. She is in her 30s, but she looks like she has been able to conquer 7 different generations. Why is she speaking like this? Where is she coming from? She just came from the holies of holies. She just came through the blood of the Lamb, and she prophesies before him only, and she preaches to all around. Where you live there to enter the public place, where you pray until you are having a solution. You don't step to the hospital until God has given you the healing codes to set that lady free and set that man free and to raise the dead. You don't go by visitation, you don't go by invitation, you go there because in the sacred place a voice came and said, do this and do that, and that child will come back to life. Jami Karuna. And you see a young man who does not behave like his age. You ask him, how can you be in your 30s and there's no desire for marriage? Marriage is very important, please get married. But maybe his own is saying you marry at 35. Let him be. We are not following the calendars of men. No, pastor, no. We are under a different calendar. In our calendar, 30 years can be 2 years. In our calendar, 60 can be 4. The priest could function in the Holy of Holies, but the members could not even enter. So when you became a priest, you don't enter the Holy of Holies. No, you function in the Holies of Holies. Wake me up
at 2 a.m., I can still prophesy, and a national crisis comes to an end, because I don't sleep on my bed. I sleep in the blood of the Lamb. I am always soaked in blood.